Hello, my loves. Welcome to View for Vibrant. My name is Kellyanne, and we're talking about transforming that sense of anxiety that you have into intuition. Because intuition is the thing that everybody's like, trust your gut, follow your gut. And yet sometimes when our guts speak, it's like this ugh, kind of feeling. It's this terrible, awful wrench thrown in. It's like, if butterflies were a nightmare, um, because you get butterflies in your tummy when you get like a good kind of excitement. And anxiety is a bad kind of excitement. It's a kind of excitement that makes us feel like something's about to go wrong, or everything is off, or I just don't know how to make this situation better, which means that you get the sense that you're in a bad situation. You're not in a good place to really trust yourself or trust what's going on. And that's the core of the matter. Intuition is something that we want to trust because it would mean that we ultimately innately trust ourselves. Because what we know about intuition is, well, what you might not know about intuition is that everybody has it. Okay, so let's just start there. Everybody has intuition. Everybody has it. But what everybody knows about intuition is that it's something that you can't see, you can't smell, you can't. There aren't signals for it. There are signs. You can have an intuition about something, or you can think about something and go, I wonder if that's true, or I wonder how valuable and relatable that information is, and then have it confirmed for you later, like somebody brings up a topic that uh, mirrors or that repeats and echoes that intuition that you had, and you're like, oh, okay, there it is. It came back again, so it must have some little nugget of truth in there. It must have some little nugget of something that I need to pay attention to and explore. But what I'm talking about is not just intuition in terms of like synchronicities and things that we have confirmed later. I'm talking about intuition for the now. I'm talking about when you sense something and you're like, I trust it. I'm going to act on it immediately. Because I think that's what everybody wants. We hear our anxiety and we often act on it immediately. We act on our anxieties and go, okay, well, if this thing might go wrong, then I'm going to have to prepare in X, Y, and Z ways. And now let me start on X, and later I'll do Y, and then tomorrow I'll work on Z. We often strategize around our anxieties because we have been listening to them for such a long time that we feel like that's just good planning. We feel like that's just good life planning. And in reality, you're watching this because you want to transform that really icky feeling that you follow into a centered understanding and knowing, capital K, knowing that you follow. So I'm going to give you the one thing that you need to know, because there's a lot of advice out there about uh, the difference between anxiety and intuition, and how to make sure that your intuition isn't anxiety. We're not going to play any games with this. We are not going to test or quiz our knowing, our the voices within us. We're not going to test them. We're not going to quiz them. We're not going to poke and prod them. What we're going to do is we are going to anchor into one thing that will always be true forever going forward, between in the relationship between you and your anxiety and you and your intuition. Okay, so I'm going to give it to you. Anxiety is your desires for the future and your wishes for the future speaking to you through a negative lens, and maybe even through a hopeful lens. Well, I hope this doesn't happen. Well, I hope this thing doesn't happen, but like I said, I'm going to prepare for it anyway, or I'm going to think about it 1,000 times until the moment passes and then recognize that it never came to be. Anxiety is for the future. Anxiety is that inner voice worrying about what might happen and what might be possible in the future that affects us right now. And affects us right now in terms of like, I have the only power that I have in my life, the only power that we have as humans in our lives is the present moment. The only power that we have is to pinpoint the here and now and act in this moment. We can't act in the future, we can't act in the past. We can only act in the present. Which means that when anxiety speaks to us, it's speaking to us about the future, and it's causing us to take action for future possibilities that may never and usually don't ever come to pass, right? Anxiety is just this thing where you're like, it it could happen, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Intuition is something that you can trust, and a voice that you can feel present in when you are grounded in the present. When you're feeling anxious, you're worrying about the future. You're doing a whole lot of this, you're doing a whole lot of calculations and analyzing, and you're trying to project your mind and even your body into the future. That's why your body starts to get all of these like weird sensations, because you're trying to time travel. You're trying to time travel and figure out what's going to happen, and then come back and go, I'm going to save us. I'm going to make sure that this thing doesn't happen and doesn't affect me. But the problem with that is we cannot do that. Our bodies can't time travel. Our bodies can't time travel into the future or into the past. It's just not going to happen. So when we try to in our minds, our body tries to take that journey, and it feels the dissociation. It feels that dysregulation of like, this isn't regular. This isn't normal. This isn't real. When you are grounded in the present, you have a relationship with intuition, with that inner voice, that inner knowing, that is only available to you in the now, for the now. It's not for the future. Your intuition speaking to you now will absolutely help you in the future. But if you start to time travel and you take your intuition and your intuitive, like, oh, I just feel like I should bring an umbrella today, and you don't just grab the umbrella and keep it moving and don't question why you felt that way, and you sit there and you worry about it and you start to panic. Oh no, is it going to rain? Oh no, then should I bring my rain boots? Oh no, then should I do this and should I do that? And get, then you're leaving that window of time when the action that you needed to take because your intuition spoke to you is anchored. You leave that window of time. When you are grounded in the present, then you can act from the present, and you can listen to your intuition and have that relationship of fearlessness. Because I get this question so much, like, how do I know, the difference between my intuition and my anxiety? Well, ask yourself, do I want a relationship with my intuition that feels like anxiety? Do I want a relationship with my intuition that is coated in fear and worry and like angst about what might be, what could be? Is that the kind of relationship that I want to have with my intuition? If the answer is no, then you can understand and you can see how the feeling that you have when your intuition hits is so much different from your anxiety causing your body to have all of these signals, all of these feelings of trying to project into the future, of trying to take your body into the future. When your brain is pulling your body elsewhere and pulling your present state of being into another possible reality, that's not intuition. That's fear, that's worry, and that's something that you were conditioned to do, very likely, by guardians. When you were growing up, you probably had people telling you that you need to think about your future, or you need to um, worry about what might happen, or think about an outing or a trip or something that you're doing that requires planning, and then step into that future in your mind's eye, but from a place of panic. And we need to retrain our brains to slow down, rewind, come back into the present, come back into our bodies, and develop a relationship with our knowing, so that there's not this sense um, of doom and gloom hanging over us as we wonder what could be. It's fine to wonder, it's fine to think about what might happen. It's not fine to project into the future the doom and gloom. Okay? So, the one thing that you need to transform anxiety into intuition is to ground yourself in the present. And you can do this in a lot of ways. I wish I forgot to bring my deck of cards here with me, but I have let's see if I can remember it right off the top of my head. I can't remember it. I'm going to have to put it in the description below, so be sure to look at the description below. But I have a deck of cards that has somatic practices that help you to embody and help you to learn to embody, to regulate your nervous system. Um, and what it does is all of these little practices help bring you back to the present, bring you back into that place where when you do feel a sensation in your gut, it's not from a place, or you feel something in your shoulders, or you feel something in your back, or you feel your pus tingle, you feel your genitals tingle a little bit, or you just feel your throat just open up and relax. And those are your body's signals for receiving information that feels right and feels aligned to taking action in the present. Then you will know and you will be certain this is not anxiety. Because when I check in with myself right now, I'm not going to corner my anxiety, or I'm not going to corner my knowing, the knowing that's coming through right now. I'm not going to corner it and go, are you anxiety? Are you intuition? Can I trust you? Can I trust you? Can I really trust you? You're not going to do that. You're going to say, hello, self. Am I grounded in the present right now? Are my thoughts about the future, and this is a good catalyst for knowing, is, are my thoughts about the future more aligned with wonder or with worry? Because that's going to help you recognize, am I living here? Am I ready and prepared to take action right now based on the knowing that I receive? Or am I going to plan for the future based on this worry that I have about the future? am I just going to sit with this and feel bad for minutes, hours, days? What you want to develop is a trust that you can take action right now based on the knowing that you have. Because that's the only usefulness for intuition. Intuition is synonymous with instinct. Trust your instincts, trust your gut, trust your intuition. When you have instincts, it's not because there's a wolf behind you and you sense danger and you're supposed to act at another time. You're supposed to act right now. You're supposed to take action right now. And yet, if there's something happening right now and you don't trust the information that you're getting from seemingly nowhere, then you're not going to be able to act when that information is actually valuable to you and actually most valuable to you. Because we receive our intuition from our cat brains, okay? If you didn't know this, now you know. Our guts have around 2 million nerves worth of neurological activity. And that equates to the same amount of neurological activity as happens in a 2-year-old human's brain. Okay, how intuitive and instinctual are 2-year-old children? It's incredible. And 2-year-old humans and cats, which is why I like to call my gut my cat brain, because cats are also incredibly instinctual, incredibly intuitive. They just know without knowing. They just sense before the thing actually happens. And what they're not doing is projecting into the future, and they're not worrying about what's going to happen. They're grounded in the present. And then they take action for the present moment, because that's the only usefulness that we have for a 2-year-old who's listening to this knowing that they don't know where it came from, but they just know about a person who is wrong for them. You see a 2-year-old on their mom's hip and somebody comes to say hi to them and they go, ugh. That's intuition. And that's what we want to be able to use our intuition for. We want to be able to, in the moment, go, ugh, okay, now I see you. Now I understand the vibration of this person that my neurological gut brain, that my cat brain in here understands better than this. I don't need to make calculations about it because I already know. Because I can already sense who is vibing right and who is vibing real wrong. Who is not making the cut? Who is not making Santa's nice list, okay? You can tell who's on the naughty list based on what your intuition is telling you in the moment. But intuition is only helpful for taking action in the present. So you gotta get grounded. You gotta get grounded. You gotta be sure to regulate your system. You can't stay regulated all the time, but that's not the point. The point is not to stay grounded all the time. The point is to keep coming back to the present and reminding yourself, this is my point of power. And this is the best place from which I can take action and make decisions for anything in my life. I hope that this helps. I would love to hear if there are any practices that you already have that help you get grounded in your body. And I would love to connect with you if this feels like something that is really sticky for you. Because we all have things that are sticky for us. We all have things that are like, you have friends who you're like, you make it look so easy. You make it look so easy, but it's not. And it's not easy for me in the same way that it's easy for you. We all have our strengths and we all have our weaknesses, but we can build upon those weaknesses and kind of bring them up to some kind of like level, so that we can start to trust that we have a good foundation to stand on in those areas of our lives, in those qualities of our being, of our personality and our skills, our capabilities. And if you don't feel capable of pulling yourself back from that future worry and that anxiety, that anxious attachment that you have to what's going to happen to you, then I would love to help you unstick from that. I am right now launching a series on my Patreon, which is a socialist environment. So that means it's pay what you can. It's not the same as other Patreons where you have to pay a certain amount per tier and you receive more and more the more you pay. That's fucked. I don't like it. I want everybody to be able to get the same thing no matter what they're able to pay. Okay. So I'm launching a series in there in my Patreon right now, and that's the link to that is in the description of this video. I'm launching a series on getting unstuck slash out of the pit. And it feels like anxiety is such a pit. It's such a worry pit. It's a fear pit. It's a, uh, it's like a pit that you just get trapped in when all you want to do is feel comfortable and calm and at peace in your life. And the problem with anxiety is that we often feel like it's helpful to at least think about our future, more helpful than it is to not think about it at all. And the point isn't to not think about your future at all. The point is to get unstuck from those feelings that we have associated with thinking about the future, thinking about what's right for our lives and what might happen if we make any one particular decision out of 2 or 10 or 1,000. So I would love to help guide you out of that because that is one of my strengths. And if you would like to receive lots and lots of guidance, but at your own pace, as well as facilitated in person, there's going to be so many options for how to play with all of this learning that's in the Vibrant Resource Library. I would love for you to join and for you to at least try it on. Because when we try things on and we say yes to things, even that we're not sure about, but we know and we're sure, like, I do want to work on this thing. I do really need to make sure that this doesn't keep controlling my life like it is now. When you say yes to something, even if it doesn't end up being right for you, you're telling the universe, I'm willing to commit. I said yes to this. I opted in and I committed in some small way. Now, even if this doesn't work out for me, I can get more of this. I can receive more help and more guidance in this area of my life that I really want to work on. And I say this because I don't really give a fuck if you stay in the Vibrant Resource Library and community. I would love for you to join and I would love for you to find a home there. And what I do give a fuck about is that everybody watching my videos, everybody who comes to my channel, everybody who engages and interacts with the messages that I'm putting out there understands that you have a home somewhere in the world. And just finding this right now is dipping the toe in or finally submerging in the pool. Wherever you're at and whatever stage you're at, I hope that this tells you that you are on the right path and that you need to keep going. I don't really care if I'm the one who receives the money that you have in your bank account that is designated for working on this, for devoting yourself to getting rid of that worry and that toxic anxiety that's been controlling your life. I don't care if it's me who receives your money. I care if you get out of it, if you get unstuck from that pit. And I would love, if I'm the catalyst, to be your catalyst. If I'm your guide, to be your guide. If I am a community member for you, I would love to be communing. All right? I love you so much. You're deserving of all the love you desire. Hope you like this video if it helped, and subscribe to this channel if you would like to hear more and receive more free resources in this way. Have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Ah! Ah! Okay, bye. I love you.